What is ME or CFS? Myalgic encephalitis, also referred to as chronic fatigue syndrome, is a complex chronic medical condition affecting multiple body systems. All of the following symptoms should be present to suspect ME or CFS: debilitating fatigue, post-exertional malaise, unrefreshing sleep or sleep disturbance, cognitive difficulties. What ME or CFS is not: feeling tired after exertion, normal day-to-day fatigue that doesn't prevent normal activity, exhaustion brought on by a known medical ailment, or mental or physical breakdown after repeated and continued overexertion. These are a few personal stories from the members of Kirklees and Calderdale Independent ME Support Group.
I've been cooking our family's evening meal all day. I can't do it at tea time in one go, so I often faint if I try to do that. I can't stand for that long, or my arm muscles are not strong enough to chop veg and stir things, so I do it in teeny tiny bits throughout the day. So it probably takes me about 15 different steps. So I'll chop half an onion and then I'll come and lay on the bed to rest for an hour, and then I'll chop the rest of the onion and come and lay on the bed to rest, and then I might make some sauce, and you know, so it takes a very long time. And even now I need my partner to come home and finish it. And it's also really frustrating when you want to feed your family. And even preparing a really simple meals, like, it's so difficult. And then I often collapse trying to do it, and then my partner will have to feed me because I don't have the strength to eat, which is mortifying.
I'm Steph. I'm 45 and love music and going to gigs, spending time with my friends and doing everything a mum can and wants to do with her children. Except I can't. I have ME, have had for 28 years. Music is too loud most of the time. Chatting with my best friend puts me in bed for 3 days. And I haven't picked up my boy in 6 years since he was 3. I had to give up my dream job 3 years ago. I reduced my hours and work from home, but it's all too much for me. Worse, my kids went to live with their dad full-time 5 years ago and just spend nights with me now and again. I have some very nice and empathetic doctors at my GP practice these days, far better than the hospital consultant who told me, aged 17, to pull myself together and stop worrying my mother, as I was trying my best to stay awake and not slump over in the chair, or one last year who told me that I should just take a multivitamin every day. My GP had to be to hospital that day due to the severity of my symptoms. But I don't need empathy now. I need a doctor who is as curious about my condition as I am, who is willing to discuss treatment plans with me. I can get private prescriptions for medicines. Why can't these be prescribed by my GP? Why can't ME and various treatments be researched in the same way as heart disease or MS?
So I've not had a good day today. Have had a fairly good run of a few days of feeling pretty good recently, and I've got a tendency to overdo things. The novelty of being able to walk and do little bits of, you know, get showered and dressed, get myself some food, it's pure joy to be able to do that after weeks of not being able to get out of bed. And typically when I'm feeling good, I want to do, mentally I'm always motivated to do things. It's my body that won't let me do them. So when I feel strong enough to do things, I end up overdoing it. So this post-exertional malaise is one of the hardest things to deal with. And overdoing it might mean having a shower and getting dressed. It's not like going out and running a marathon. You've got to find your own kind of sweet spot, which is easier said than done because that varies from day to day, hour to hour. So it's very hard to know if you're overdoing things or if you're maybe resting too much. It's so frustrating, and I still haven't mastered that despite living with this for over 10 years.
Hi, I'm Denise. I had just started a promising career in computer programming when I fell ill. I was 25. After about a year, I was diagnosed with post-viral fatigue syndrome. I managed to get back to work in a handful of hours a week, which I thought would be temporary. 20 years later, despite by now working from home for just a few hours of the day and part of the week, I finally gave up as my health was deteriorating further. I have on occasion improved, where I was able to do long walks and even go cycling, but each time I finally relapsed and crashed again. ME for me means sleeping for extended hours, feeling very sick, ill or pained after just small amounts of activity. Before ME, I never realised how much energy it takes to read just a few pages of a book, to watch TV or just sit up at a table. Just reading or chatting can leave me feeling unwell, unable to think straight or do anything other than sit with my feet elevated and my eyes closed for hours at a time. I'm lucky. I don't have to work now and I have a supportive partner and family. But I have had to deal with disbelief from people, even those medically trained. I don't want other people to feel ashamed, guilty or lazy because of their condition. If there was one thing I would ask, is that people are kind and open-minded. Thank you for listening.
So it's Saturday night. I'm downstairs in the kitchen. I'm lucky to have a bed down here. So I divide my time between this bed and the bed upstairs. Came down to get myself something to eat and just feel so weak. I had to get into bed and I've just been here for the last 2 hours. I've not been able to eat. So I've got no strength. It's Saturday night and it's nice weather and I know everyone's going to be out enjoying themselves. I just feel stuck.
People with ME/CFS are unlikely to be seen at their worst because debilitating symptoms prevent them from leaving their home. We thank everyone from the Kirklees and Calderdale ME support group for taking precious energy to help us make this video.